everybody, and welcome to my class today. We are going to be making these really cute butterfly themed cupcakes. These will be perfect for any butterfly themed party. Before we go ahead and get started, here are some things that you'll need to make the cupcakes today. You can go ahead and pause the screen to read, but most importantly, we are going to need butterfly themed cupcake toppers. To get started, we are going to start with a bowl of white cake mix, and we are going to create a nice marbled look with some purple gel food coloring. 1 drop of purple coloring is all you'll need, and then you'll take your spatula and very carefully blend it in with your batter. I'm showing you how I mixed it in real time so you can see just how carefully that I did it, because you don't want to mix in the color too much because we still want that marbled look. Just a little bit of mixing is all you'll need. So now we can transfer the batter into our cupcake liners. For this theme, I'm choosing 2 different colors, purple and white, and you should have enough batter to create 24 cupcakes. To scoop out the batter, I always use an ice cream scoop. It always gives me the perfect amount of batter, and you want to really just fill it up half to 3/4 of the way full. And while you're scooping, pay close attention to carefully scooping the batter out of the bowl, because again, you still want to keep that marbled look, and sometimes when we scoop out batter, we tend to blend the colors. So just do it super carefully. You can already get an idea of how cute these cupcakes are going to look with the marble look of the purple. Give the pan a tap to get out the air bubbles and bake. While your cupcakes are baking and then cooling, we're going to split our frosting up into 2 bowls. For one of the bowls, we're going to use the purple gel food coloring, and we only really want a very small amount. So take a toothpick and dip it into the gel food coloring. It'll give you the perfect amount of color and not too much. You can see how just a little bit of the coloring gives us a nice rose pink color, but if you want to make it a little darker, you can add more. For the next bowl of frosting, we're going to do the same process, but with the teal. Again, just dip it into the coloring and then wipe it right into the frosting. For my cupcakes, I want a bit of a darker teal tone, so I'm adding 2 more drops of food coloring. That would give me the perfect tone for my cupcakes. And look how great these 2 colors look together. Now we're going to fit our piping bags with our piping tips. This is a Wilton 1M, and this is a Wilton 4B tip. Starting with the 4B, I'm just going to drop the tip into the piping bag, decorating side down so it goes all the way to the bottom. Now to get your piping tip to fit perfectly, we're going to score the bag with scissors just below the opening of the piping tip. This allows us to see exactly where we need to cut our piping bag, and it won't make the tip pop out. I have never had a tip pop out with this method. Next, I'm going to use a tall glass to add my piping bag to, which will help me add the frosting to the piping bag. I use this method every single time, and it really helps manage the process and keeps my hands free. So the 4B tip, you're going to add the teal frosting to this piping bag. Once added, pull the bag out of the cup and start to guide the frosting down to the bottom towards the tip, focusing on removing the air bubbles. Removing the air bubbles is super important because when we're piping, we don't want to have any air bubbles coming out through the tip because that will interrupt our piping. Now to secure the bag, we're going to take the top of the bag between our thumb and our forefinger and then start to guide it down more and then twist the top so we can secure the bag. When you're piping, this is the proper way to hold a piping bag. You want to hold it from the top and apply pressure so the frosting comes out the bottom. And we're going to repeat this same exact process to fit the 1M tip into the piping bag and then fill it with the purple frosting. So now your cupcakes should be cooled, and it's important to make sure they're not warm right out of the oven because the frosting will melt off. Beginning with the teal 4B tip, we're going to create shells around the perimeter of the cupcake. It's a good idea to practice on parchment paper before you do it on your cupcake, and then you can just add your frosting from the parchment paper back to your piping bag. It's just a good way to get comfortable with the design. So you can see that I'm letting the frosting build out on the rim and then pulling it towards the center. Next, let's use the 1M tip to create a tiny mini rosette on the top of that design. It is the cutest little rosette to go on top of these little shells, and it'll give a nice look to the butterfly cupcakes. So continue that for all of the rest of the cupcakes. I like to do one design on all of the cupcakes first and then move on to the next one. It just gives a nice, good, easy process. So you can see now I've added all of the 4B shells to the cupcakes, and now I can easily go through and add in that rosette. Now that we're all done with that, we can add on our silver edible glitter. I always use a paintbrush to do this, to just dust it on, but you can certainly use something else like a Q-tip or whatever will help you dust on the glitter. Now for the butterfly toppers. So these particular ones I got from Sprinkle Pop, and they are edible wafer paper butterfly and flower designs. But of course, for these cupcakes, you can use any butterfly toppers that you can find. So there you have it. I just think these are so cute and so perfect for a butterfly themed birthday party. Go ahead and add a candle to your favorite one and have a great time. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you learned a lot and I hope you enjoyed it. And please tag me on Instagram so I can see how yours came out.